Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over the basics of hybrids and woods. Now there's a couple differences between irons and the woods that we're going to be going over. The first big difference is the club head. Now you'll notice that the club head is a lot thicker with the woods, and the reason for that is it's easier for the club head to slide through the grass and not get caught up in either long grass or different types of terrain. Whereas the thinner club head of an iron, you might be able to snag it left or right, or even stop completely depending on the type of terrain. With the thicker club head, it's easy to slide straight through some of the longer and more difficult grass. Now what the thicker club head also achieves is it gives you a bit more forgiveness. And by forgiveness I mean that with an iron, in order to hit a very accurate shot, you're always going to want to hit it at the exact center of the club face. Now you're still wanting to do that with a wood, but because it's a little bit thicker, it gives you a little bit more of an aiming spot in the center of the club head to be able to have a bit more leeway, so you're not always having to try to get a pinpoint shot every single time. And so another difference between the shaft of an iron and the shaft of a wood, more likely than not, they're going to be made out of graphite rather than steel. Now, graphite's a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to swing, and so that's going to be a big difference. So it's going to help you swing what's going to be probably a lot longer of a club and maybe a little bit heavier under normal circumstances. It kind of evens it out a little bit. Now, just because it's a lighter shaft doesn't mean you need to hit it harder, because with the length of the club head and the length of the shaft, it's going to be able to produce that extra speed that you're going to be able to need to get a longer shot. So you don't need to worry about swinging harder, because the length of the club is going to do that for you. And so as we're going through the club, as we're going through the swing, you really aren't going to see too many differences between this and a long iron, but just know that because it's a longer club, you're going to want to make sure that you have every position lined up as good as you can, because like we said before, the longer the shot, the easier it is for a small mistake to be amplified due to the length. So as you're setting up, the club is going to be, the club and the ball is going to be near the front of your stance here. And what that's going to be able to do is give you the longest sweep through, so that you're almost catching it on the upswing. Not quite, but as close to even or on the upswing as you possibly can to get that lift up and away. And so as you go through, you set up, the club's going to be in the front of your stance, and as you set up, you're going to want to make sure that you're able to line up properly. You take it back up and above your shoulder here, and you're going to want to make sure that you have that pinpoint direction of the U shape above your shoulder to be able to have as a check. So you come across, and you don't want to over rotate here, because like I said, the length of the club is going to be able to give you as much distance as you really are going to want. So you come up, don't over rotate, just get that club directly above your shoulders, and as you come down, start with that hip rotation followed by your shoulders and your hands to get that club rotated and your weight starting to shift forward. So you're coming down and getting into that impact position with your hands rotating through the ball and having the club sweep through and be able to catch a clean shot for the ball. And as you get into impact, your weight's going to be shifting forward, your hands are going to be rotating to get that club into impact here, and you're going to be going through and around and finishing with a nice natural follow through. You don't need to try to muscle anything through. I know your tendency with a wood is you're going to want to try to swing as hard as you can, especially because these are going to be longer shots. It's just your natural mindset is to swing hard, but you don't need to. This, because of the lightness of the club and the length of it, is going to give you all of the momentum that you need with just a nice natural swing to finish as a good accurate shot. So as we set up here, you're going to want to make sure you set up, ball in the front of your stance, and just be in a good solid position every single time. Now if you notice, I didn't really make too much of a divot, and because of that, like I said, it's going to be a small smooth swing across, and it's just going to be clipping the very top of the grass. And you're not going to want to chop down on it because there's not a lot of loft on these clubs. A smooth swing is going to be able to let you lift that ball up naturally and be able to let that ball roll. You're not going to want to do a lot of spin control with these clubs. The roll is going to take care of itself as you have a nice, natural, smooth swing. And so I hope you guys have learned a lot. And if you have any other questions, make sure you comment down below, like and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we can improve your game next time. Have a good night.